Further to supplier administration, one element we've not covered yet is listQ. Now listQ are product items that have been created by your buyers, your clients, and require pricing for. So price matricing, rate card type products. Now these products could be for absolutely anything. They don't have to be print related or print specific. In this particular example, we have a test product which is like a pull-up banner. Now to access these, the administration for creating your pricing models are under listQ. So simply click on the listQ icon at the top of the screen, and this takes you into a grid view where you have your product categories listed on the left. So in this particular instance we have test, but you might have a number of product categories from all sorts of buyers, and when you click on that product category you might have then multiple products listed in this products view here underneath that. Now in this particular example we have one product. We can highlight over the little info there. We can see that the pricing basis is size, and we've got a pricing mode of per each. It could be per 1,000. And just going back to our admin's video earlier, we have the packing types here. Now the packing types, these are what we assign delivery cost to, and if we need to assign them to any given product in listQ, we simply click on there and then we add how are we delivering these types of products. Are we delivering them in tubes? Are we delivering them in parcels? Or are they going straight onto pallets? So of course you can select any one of these that you require specific delivery costs for. The little calculator allows you to do quick test pricing, but before we do that, what we need to do is add a pricing model. Now to add a pricing model, we simply click on the pricing model. This highlights the pricing model. Now here's one that's already been created, but for those that haven't been created, you simply just click on add pricing model. This creates the new pricing model like so and takes us directly into this product. Now in here we can give this pricing model a name. We can add notes as to what we've done. You'll see here a little logo of the product, the name, the pricing basis, and obviously the pricing mode, and underneath the description. So we'll know exactly what it is that we're pricing for when we're in this area. Now at the moment you'll notice there's a tab that says 1+. So this is like charging for one there and afterwards, however many products we require. Now we know this is based on each, so the pricing needs to be put into this matrix accordingly. So all these prices are based on price per each. We can add further quantity breaks in a second by clicking on that plus button, but I'll come back to that in a moment. Now you'll notice in here, look, our pricing basis is based on size, so anything it's based on is going to run along the top. So in this particular instance we have two different sizes to choose from in the drop-down variables. First size being 1,000 millimeters and the second size variable being 2,000 millimeters. So these are our two different sized products. And then going down the list are all the other pricing properties, the variables that could possibly be selected. In this particular instance there's only one, which is based on colour, whether it's a fallback 0 or a fallback 4, but you could have further properties going down this list, which could be elements like the materials, or it could be any special kind of finishing, and so on. Now when you're looking at the pricing, the first elements you need to concentrate on are these elements here: the base price for your buyer and the base price for your other buyers. Now it will show you all the buyers you're linked to, but if you're only providing prices for one buyer, you only need to concentrate on that row for that buyer. The base price area is for you to do price testing. So just going back to the previous screen, when we click on the calculator to test pricing, it's going to test pricing based on our base price. So I tend to put in the same price as the buyer's price just to test that first. And of course you can change that base price without it affecting what you're charging your buyers. So again, you can do tests in the system without any effects to what your buyer's purchasing it at, until you decide, actually now I want to update the buyer's pricing in accordance to what I've been testing. You'll notice 3 columns under each element here. Now the first one's a fixed charge, so you can enter fixed charges. So this might be like a setup cost or something like that, where you've got a fixed charge of X amount, and then the next charges are based on materials and then overall running charges. Now if you want to break down material costs so you can see a clear view of material costs when you're looking at breakdowns, then you could say of that £10 or dollars, you could say $2 of that are materials, and then change the overall charge variable to $8, which will give you a total of $10. But if you don't need to do that, then you could simply leave it in at 0 and just put in your charge amounts in at whatever pounds or pence or dollars and cents. As you've done that for your base price, your starting block price, you can then start to add in the extra costs in pounds and pence or dollars and cents against all the options that are available. And then what this will add up to is what the total cost of any given product in this price matrix will be, adding that onto that or that onto that, depending on which variable's been chosen. And again, for your next size product, obviously you would then be entering your costs again. And then the last area is this void tick box. Now the void tick box, what that allows you to do is to actually tick an option, a property that you might not be able to do. So if you've got printing equipment and you say, well actually we'd never do a fallback 0, so we can't actually charge for that. So you tick that, and once that's saved, whenever a buyer or customer quotes for this product as fallback 0, then you won't return prices back. But anything that you're not ticked void against, you will obviously return pricing back for. Once you have your pricing model for your first quantity break, you can then click on the plus button. Then it asks you, where do you want your next starting value to start from? So this is based on how you price for this product. So it's where you want to place these quantity breaks, not necessarily what's been given to you as quantity breaks by the buyer themselves as a guide as to the types of quantities that they might be ordering. So if your next quantity break happens to be, let's say 100, then that would be your next starting break. So the first price matrix that we've entered would be from 1 to 99, and then the next one would be from 100 onwards. Now there's an option here to say do not copy the price matrix, but if we wanted to copy the pricing and then just make subtle changes to it, we can say copy from my 1 plus price matrix, and then it's asking me which prices do you wish to copy. I could just copy over the fixed, or maybe the variables, or maybe the voids, or all of them. And once I click add, that then adds in my next quantity break, brings through all those elements that I've asked to copy over or not, and then I can quickly go in and make changes to any elements that I want to, click save, and then take me back to my pricing model screen. And now a new pricing model has been added in, and if I need to go back and edit that at any point, we have the edit icon there. We can click on that, go back in, make changes, resave, and then back to the system again. And at this point, once we use our little back arrow to go back to our product, we can highlight that again, click on our little calculator, and then us as suppliers can test that. So we can type and return our quantities in there. You can do multiple quantities. So if you want to test your price breaks, you can do so by adding multiple quantities. Choose the variable, choose the colors, and you can also test your delivery as well by adding in your delivery areas here by saying I want that being delivered to such and such a location. And then once you're happy with that, click on the listQ icon, and then that will show you the prices that are being returned for your 10 quantity there, and the prices that are being returned for your 20 quantity there. And this, obviously, this is a price now, a listQ price that you've done yourself, and will be added to your My Quote history accordingly.